again, and we are before the curtain goes up because we are now talking about the other Theater Under the Stars show, Matilda, and we are talking with a wonderful person here. Introduce yourself and your character.
Hi, my name is Madeline Sutterby, and I am playing Mrs. Wormwood.
Mrs. Wormwood. Now she's like second tier villain in the story. It's a children's book, and
Mhm.
Matilda has a horrible life. Just this young lady has a horrible life, or awful people around her, and you're not the main villain. You're the catalyst villain.
Yes, I feel like next to Mrs. Trunchbull, who is, I think, the most irredeemable character in the show, I believe that Mrs. Wormwood is the second most irredeemable character in the show.
Nice. So explain for someone who's watching this who's like, I don't know Matilda. I think there was a Danny DeVito movie. And because this is one of those stories where there's a non-musical version, like Hairspray. There's a non-musical version and a musical version.
Mhm.
So tell us the story.
This story centers around a very remarkable young girl who I believe doesn't really get credit for just how brilliant she is. And she faces a lot of people who just aren't really in a place to acknowledge that she is someone incredibly special.
Nice.
Yeah, it really is all about it. The story is obviously about Matilda. That's her.
She's in the
She's the
title.
title character for a reason. For a reason, it's all about her and how amazing she is. Truly.
Now she's your daughter. Now, I can't quite remember from the story. Is she a natural born daughter? Like, is she your actual flesh and blood, or is she's adopted, or her parents died and she's being raised by her aunt and uncle? What's going on here?
Honestly, the way they treat her, you'd think she was adopted or unwanted. Well, she is unwanted by us, unfortunately, but she it is born from me. You couldn't tell. There is zero family resemblance in personality, in intelligence levels, in looks. It's almost as if she was born from outer space, and we are now taking care of a little alien child who
It,
has no resemblance to us whatsoever.
you know what? It's all flooding back to me now. Because I think that's one of the things that, how do you say his name? Roald Dahl? Is it
Roald Dahl.
Roald Dahl? Roll that doll. Where'd the doll go? It rolled away.
Rolled
Um,
away.
because we often will portray parental figures in children's stories as, well, they're not the natural, they're not the real parents, they're something else. And he went, no, sometimes birth parents are awful people too.
Yeah, it's true. It's sometimes even blood ties don't warrant people, like, don't warrant good relationships.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's the best part about this show? Because, like, well, it must be headache inducing because you have so many little kids in this show.
No, the children are wonderful. People keep saying that, being like, "Wow, a lot of kids." And you know what? Honestly, they're pulling their own weight. They are phenomenal children, and they are working so hard. They are truly incredible, like, workmates. They're really, really amazing to work with, and it's actually quite a joy to watch them discover and learn and put the work in and get results.
Wonderful. Now, and if I remember correctly as well, you and your husband have a number near the beginning. Is that correct?
It actually, my husband, who's played by Victor Hunter, Mr. Wormwood, he actually has his own little number sort of right off of the end of intermission. But the big number that I'm a part of is actually with a completely different man. Um,
Oh,
and it is this giant dance number. It's all ballroom choreography. And it's really, really hysterical.
I yeah, she wants to be on a TV show or something, isn't that like? But or she,
The
or
I
she
think There's many, like, between the different versions of the show, the novel itself, the movie itself from the 90s, and the musical today, tiny plot points are changed just a little bit to, I think, just be more in favor of the type of art form we're using. So, I think in the novel she collected something, and in the musical, to just sort of help us along, she is a ballroom dancer. She's an amateur ballroom dancer. So it just sort of shifts her I guess her hobby or her passion shifts from each iteration, just to help tell the story a little bit better in the medium that you're using.
Yes, if you're in a musical, showing someone collecting stamps or figurines is probably not that interesting, but making her a ballroom dancer, suddenly you go, look,
Well,
we got an excuse for a number, right?
that's literally it. It's just an excuse to have a big giant dance number, and honestly, I'm okay with it.
Nice. Nice. Are you like Katrina said in the other interview, a pedestrian dancer? Are you a professional dancer?
I am. Yeah, I've been training. I've been doing dance since I was a very small child. I did some training with Decidedly Jazz Dance Works in Calgary for a year. Dance has been a very, very large part of my life and my career for pretty much since the beginning.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, the movie musical version, not the movie version, but the movie musical version that was done for Netflix, spawned an iconic meme-worthy TikTok dance with the Red Beret Girl. Do you have a Red Beret Girl in your show?
We don't have a red beret specifically. Our children are iconic. Like, are they're going to create their own memes. They're going to create their own TikTok dances.
Nice.
They're all so incredibly talented. You will just be blown away by them.
Now, the other thing that I love about this musical, the composer is what's his
Tim Minchin.
Minchin, yeah. His lyrics are so dense that you almost need subtitles on the screens because you're like, I know they're saying words. Like that one, children are naughty. They start spelling out words and they're using old English words and they're trying like, and you're just like, and they're going, they're going so fast. You're like, I think I don't know what they're saying.
I think you just said it verbatim. Absolutely. That is actually the lyrics of the song. No, it's they're incredibly clever. Tim Minchin is an incredibly clever writer, and a lot of it will get lost just because you're not looking at them on a page. There's so much of the humor and so much of the intelligent writing is actually on page.
Nice.
And you will, if you don't know the show very well, if it's your first time seeing it, it probably will go over your head, but come back a second time, or go and look at the script or go watch the movie, and things will start to click. They'll start to be revealed to you every so often. I think that's part of the magic.
Now, you have a Matilda. Now, often when we have little kids in a show who are the lead, they have to care, they're in almost every scene, and they have to care. That's probably why they also have the dance number for you, is so that the girl can go. So do you have a
Honestly,
sorry?
it might be her only break in the show.
Yeah, your number.
There's a running joke that, as soon as the scene ends, she just kind of stays on stage.
Everything
And
moves. Everything else.
yes, exactly. She
She
just doesn't
watches.
leave.
She watches forlornly as other cast members head into the wings, and she's like, "No, I'm still
We're
here."
we're gonna have to hide water bottles around the set just so that she can stay hydrated.
Now, do you have no, because it's a little kid, like with Billy Elliot and other shows where there's like a little kid having to carry so much show, even though you have every other night off, or maybe because you have every other night off because the shows are in rep, do you have two Matildas that are playing the part?
We don't have two Matildas, but we do have an understudy Matilda, an internal understudy who is in the ensemble, in the children's ensemble. So she is learning everything alongside Siggy, but she is there doing her own track as well. She's learning her own part. So she's kind of actually pulling double duty, and doing a lot of work, just in the case of an emergency.
Right. Okay. Well, let's hope that doesn't happen. So I mean, I guess it is lucky that you have every other night off so that she can kind of go,
Yes, all of us will be very grateful for the little breaks we get in between the summer. It's a mammoth show.
nice. Oh, again, the choreography and who's choreographing it? The director's choreographing. Yes.
Well, Stephanie Graham's actually, she is notably a choreographer and director, and she has done the sort of double duty in the past. But actually, Crystal Kieran is our choreographer for this show. And I think this is her choreography debut as well. And she's fantastic. And they're quite a team. Like, they really are incredible collaborators together.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. What's your favorite part of rehearsal other than your ballroom number?
That is, well, I feel like that is the most exhausting part of my show. But honestly, I think some of my favorite parts of the show are watch right now. I just get to watch some really cool things happening. Um, there's so much of the show that I'm not a part of, and I'm totally okay with that because there's just some really absolutely heart-wrenching moments going on, and I find myself, blinking back tears when I'm watching rehearsal happening and watching things unfold and relationships come to life. It's truly a touching show.
Yeah, well, it can't help but like punch you in the heart when it's a little girl being up against unreasonable and unyielding adults.
That is true. And, these adults are really, we're role reversal here. They behave so much more like children than the actual children in the show, which I find so incredibly frustrating to watch as a patron, but also just it is so interesting as well.
Nice. That's one of the reasons why the show has so much sticking power, like why it's been adapted so much, because he's crafted a book that you kind of go, wow, you're exploring a unique territory that's much more real in this fantastically fantastical story.
Yeah, it is things that do exist in reality. These kinds of relationships exist in the real world, but they have a Roald Dahl and Tim Minchin in every adaptation therein has done such an amazing, remarkable job of taking a real world problem and kind of fashioning this fantastical world around it, where it really throws that into focus, even though it seems like it's so out of this world and like it could never happen in real life. But when you really boil it down to its small parts and the core of it, it's a thing that, unfortunately does happen every single day.
Yeah, yeah, I'm very much looking forward to seeing your show. I told the prom people I was very much looking forward to seeing their show, but secretly I'm really looking forward to seeing your show.
I think our the shows this year are going to be very strong. I'm also so looking forward to seeing the prom. I cannot wait to see that show, but I think both of our shows are going to be so wildly different from each other, but celebratory all the same.
Yes, yes, and there's a real uh, 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 female slant to the pieces as well. That's neat that both the main protagonists are female identified characters, which is
Yeah.
kind of strong. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
about time. Come
yeah,
on.
yeah.
More female identifying protagonists. Let's do
Yeah.
it.
Now you get a chance, my friend, to look right at your little green dot on your laptop, and you're going to tell this audience why they should not, if they could only see one, right? Now, they, of course, should see both.
They
Uh,
should.
they run for a very long time. You can see one in 1 month and one in the other month.
You have a whole summer to do it. What is your excuse?
Yeah, so you're going to tell them why they should not miss Matilda. Ready,
You
set, action.
you should not miss Matilda because it is a story about love and rebellion and about sticking up for the little guy. or girl, I guess, in this case.
Nice. Little folk.
Little
Nice.
folk.
Madeline, thank you so much. I'm so looking forward to this show. I am. And even if there's no red beret, I'm sure there'll be lots of other things to capture my eye.
You won't miss it. You will be like, little beret who? Red beret who? Don't know her. Don't know
Don't
her.
know. Well, thank you so much. Have a great rehearsal, and I look forward to the show. Bye.
Thank you, David.